You've got questions, I've got answers. Let's have another Q&A, shall we? It has been an incredibly long time since we had a Q&A here on this channel, and as it's my mission here on the internet to be as helpful as humanly possible, these videos can be immensely helpful. People brave enough to go ahead and ask a question, when it's answered in a Q&A video, the video becomes a resource for future curly girls who may have had the same question as you. So to everyone who asked a question over on my Instagram, thank you, because not only can I now help you out, I can help out a bunch of other people who also have the same question. That was the most awkward intro. If you enjoy awkward and someone stumbling over their words fairly frequently, feel free to subscribe and click that notification bell so that we can hang out in future videos. I love talking all things wavy curly hair, the hair science. We dive deep on this channel into ingredients labels and formulations and why products work the way they do, which application techniques work best for wavy curly hair, and basically just how to make the whole process of embracing how you are fearfully and wonderfully made a little bit easier. So without further ado, let's jump into the first question. Any recommendations for mask or scalp treatments? I've never used any of those products. I have a bunch of recommendations. First off, the Curlsmith scalp line is amazing. They have a pre-wash treatment that has fermented rice water in it, so it's kind of like a rice water treatment for the hair. It contains a scalp scrub detox type shampoo, which is super gentle. Honestly, I've been real scared of scalp scrubs because they sound damaging, but the Curlsmith one, the texture of the scrub is so fine, and it's an all natural scrub, so you don't have to worry about rinsing it down your drain. It cleans the hair beautifully, makes the scalp feel better, contains a lot of anti-inflammatory products, and has enough cleansing power to get off all the gunk and buildup. And it has a post-wash conditioner, I think is what it's called in the scalp line. It's very minty and very soothing and very rich and nourishing and hydrating. Really love the Curlsmith scalp line. And in case you missed my last video of the best of 2023, Pacifica's scalp line is amazing. I have been loving their apple cider vinegar and rosemary hair rinse, I think it's the shampoo, and their kombucha hair mask. Incredible. Both of those product lines are my recommendation if you are looking to get into some scalp health, some scalp care type products. The next question is, I tried the BioSilk Jelly and it didn't hold. Any tips? Too heavy for my hair maybe? Oh goodness, there are so many factors into why your gel may or may not be holding well for you, especially if you know for a fact it's a hard hold gel product. First off, perhaps you aren't applying enough of the product. Perhaps you are using so little that there's not enough of the product there to hold your curls in place. Secondly, perhaps you're using the right amount of product, but your hair is too soaking wet when you put the product in, and it winds up diluting the gel down to nothing. You have to use a whole lot of water in order for that to happen, and we do love using a ton of water to style our hair because it helps our curl clumps form together. So there is this weird balance when you're applying gel to your hair, making sure that there's enough water in your hair for your curls to clump together, using enough gel and applying it on hair that is not so drenched that the instant you scrunch the gel in, it washes out of your hair because of all the water in it. So perhaps more gel, perhaps less water in your hair. And I have just come to realize that these crazy hard hold gels can be a little bit tricky and finicky. And honestly, I'm finding the longer I play around with products and listen to other people's experiences, that really crazy hard hold gels actually can be a little bit heavy, in the sense that they have a lot of concentrated hold ingredients in them, which gives them their holding power. I actually get more volume and better definition with a harder hold gel. It really helps to hold my curl families in their curl clumps, whereas using a light hold gel, my hair is so fine and easily weighed down by just literally gravity that a light hold gel doesn't have the muscles to hold it up and in place. But I have seen people with tighter curl patterns that when they use a hard hold gel and they use like the same amount of their regular favorite medium to light hold gel, the hard hold gel does innately have more weight because there's more hold power in it. I hope that makes sense. So it is possible that the product is too heavy for your hair, but I would adjust your amounts and how damp your hair is when you apply the product before you return it and move on to another product. Bonus tip, as a general rule, I tend to play around with the product 2 to 3 to 4, maybe 5 times before I write it off as not being my favorite thing. I will try it several wash days in a row, and I wash my hair every 2 to 3 days, and keep all the variables the same, because even when you keep all the variables the same, your hair is gonna turn out slightly different. It's the nature of wavy curly hair, and then if it's still not working for me, I will start making tweaks and adjustments and see if it moves in the correct direction or not. And then after making adjustments and fiddling with it for a few more wash days in a row, and it's not working, then I go ahead and say, it's fine. This particular product didn't do it for me. Also, another bonus tip for the BioSilk Rock Hard Jelly, make sure you emulsify it in your hands for a very, 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 very long time. I am talking like start rubbing your hands together. Think about your grocery list in your mind for a minute, run through your grocery list, maybe say the ABCs, and then scrunch it into your hair. For whatever reason, that product really wants to be emulsified a ton before application. Fine wavy hair, my daily nightmare, how to handle it the best way. Don't think your fine wavy hair is a nightmare. I have fine wavy hair. Fine wavy hair is wonderful. Honestly, I do know what you're saying though, because it is one of the most tricky hair types to have, because most of the stuff that works for everybody else isn't gonna work for you. There are a bunch of people on the wavy curly Instagrams though that have this hair type. I'm like starting to see it become more and more common for people to share their tips and tricks for fine wavy hair, which is so tricky. Some of the things that work really well for fine wavy hair is using less conditioning products. Most products that are for wavy curly hair are meant to deeply hydrate and nourish and moisturize, because wavy curly hair, as a general rule, tends to be drier. However, fine wavy hair requires far, far less moisture and conditioning than your standard, coarser, tighter curl type. So perhaps using lighter weight products, avoid the curl cream, maybe deep condition your hair a little bit less than everyone else says is the recommendation. I personally deep condition my hair roughly once a month, and I only do so after I clarify it with a sulfate shampoo. I use lightweight spray leave-in conditioners more often than I reach for the curl creams, and I tend to like harder hold gels. That tends to work better for me. And don't be afraid to experiment. Just because somebody else with fine wavy hair gets really good results with one routine, you try the routine and it doesn't work for you, you then decide that it's not worth it. Before you do that, maybe play around with foams and mousses. Maybe your hair prefers that to hard hold gels. Maybe your hair really loves a ton of curl cream and that's it, and you get your favorite hair wash day results when you use those products. I understand the frustration of being one of the smaller categories when it comes to wavy curly hair, because it's hard to figure your own hair out. It takes a lot of mental dedication and diligence, but once you do, it does become easier. I promise you eventually get a handle on your hairstyling routine and things. You can breathe again, because you are going to be able to predict the outcome of your hair eventually. I promise. I know it's hard, but you can do this. Ooh, I love this question. Styling the backside, crown, swinging method, or something else that might work also. So the way I style the back of my head is using my swing curl clump method. And lately I've been really loving brush styling my hair while also incorporating this swinging curl clump method that I use. I personally like to wash and style my hair upside down. One, it's less messy. Gel and conditioner and stuff doesn't drip down my body. If I flip my head over, it drips forward. Also, it helps give me some semblance of root volume because that is one of my biggest struggles. So styling upside down is really gonna direct those roots to sort of have more volume. That is the idea anyway. And it really helps me to style the back of my head personally. I swing my head from side to side and kind of make those curl clumps on the back of my head tumble and kind of swing together, which gets them to clump the way I want. They're up because of being upside down. I'm going to have the volume at the back, making sure to reach all the way in the back and scrunch gel all the way to my roots. Make sure that they get styled properly and they're unstuck from the back of my head. If they do get really, really stuck, and I mean stuck, getting a spray bottle and spraying the stuck area until they loosen up and let go is a trick for making sure that we don't have a weird rat's nest happening in the back of our head. Now, you can, and some people really love this. Gina Marie is a queen at doing this. I personally cannot do this. I am not flexible enough, but you can style right side up and brush style the back of your head. You have to get whatever brush you're using to brush style, hold the hair, pull it up and direct it, pick up another section, pull, direct it. If you have a cowlick or a section of hair that you just really struggle to style, styling upright and being very dedicated to that one spot can sometimes solve that issue. I'm not that dedicated and I can't quite bend that far. That kind of hurts. So I problem solved my way around it with the swing curl clump method. If you want to see more of that, I mean, check out the One Brand Wash Day series. I wash and style my hair in every single one of those videos and really give you an in-depth, detailed look at how I style my hair. The trick to the swing curl clump method is making sure you have enough product and enough water in your hair when you go to style. It helps a lot. Tips for terribly greasy scalp after 2 days. You came to the right girl. I got tips. I got tricks for this. 1, try the Shea Moisture. One moment, let me grab it. This one. Try this one. It's the Shea Moisture Apple Cider Vinegar Anti-Dandruff Shampoo with Salicylic Acid. But you say, Courtney, I don't have dandruff. I have greasy roots. What do I do for that? You do this. This is amazing. The salicylic acid in it really dissolves oil so well, and my roots look their absolute best after I use this product. Double cleanse with this, condition thoroughly, style, tell me how that works. Secondly, this is a weird tip, and I probably should have said it first because you do it before you shampoo, but if you get super oily, greasy by day 2, use a pre-poo hair oil treatment before you shampoo. I personally, hold on, where'd it go? I'm having trouble finding my products today. I personally use this one a lot. Why? Because it smells really pretty and delicious and sweet and slightly pepperminty. It is the Keratin Nourishing Hair Oil. So good. It's just the right amount of richness, and actually using a hair oil before you shampoo your hair. You're like, Courtney, I'm already oily, greasy. I'm not putting more oil on my hair. Yes, you are. And you will thank me later, because like dissolves like. Oil dissolves oil. This will help dissolve all of your greasy, oily buildup. And when you follow it up with something like this, a good double cleanse, very intentionally cleansing all of the oiliest bits, your grease is greatly diminished. And then the last tip for people who are crazy, oily, greasy, is right after you wash and style. Don't wait before you get greasy, but add dry shampoo to your clean roots. I'm gonna follow my own advice. This is freshly washed hair. Putting dry shampoo in your hair before there's a problem will mean that there is a product there waiting and ready to absorb your grease and oil before it breaks through and like looks really, really gross and bad. Also, using dry shampoo to touch up, but don't go nuts with this. You want a very light layer because you can cause buildup by using crazy amounts of dry shampoo. What do you do for volume in roots and hair loss? First off, I wanna say I sympathize with you and your hair loss. I have a lot of people close to me that struggle with hair loss. I personally have also had episodes of telogen effluvian, which are stress-induced hair loss episodes. I am personally blessed with really high density hair, meaning that per square inch on my scalp, there's a lot of hairs. My hair is fine, meaning that each individual hair strand is on the smaller diameter side, but there's a ton of them. So that being said, volume is really hard when you have low density hair. There are some things that work really well for this. Let me see if I can find the thing. I have the thing. The thing is here. Okay, hear me out. Don't be mad. This, the Abanachi curly, hold on, what is this thing called? The Abanachi Curly Hair Styler. It's not cheap, but it is the absolute best tool I have ever seen for creating targeted volume in low density hair. So what you do is when your hair is damp and you are diffusing your hair, like you're drying your hair, you get your hair set in the cast. Then it's like 80% dry, still a bit damp. You're going to take this tool, slide it in, and gently rotate back. Do you see how it picked up and directed the hair backwards? Then you're going to hover diffuse that section until dry and remove. And it holds and shapes and directs the hair in an amazing way. Also, if you are really struggling with this problem, Gina Marie, I've already mentioned her once, but she is so good at this particular issue, at demonstrating tips and tricks and hacks for getting root volume on low density hair. So check out her, perhaps consider purchasing this for yourself as a gift to help solve one of your issues. It's a really effective, good tool. Now, if you don't want to do that and you just want a super quick, fast tip for how to fix volume at the roots, let's say you're out and about and you're in an emergency situation and your hair is flat and you need it to not be flat right then. There you go. Super violent and aggressive root fluffing. That is my answer. Dude, wow. That helped a lot. I was a little sad that my hair was flat in this video. A very aggressive root fluff fixed it. What do you use to clarify? I feel like I'm talking about this product a ton. This is the Pantene Volume Shampoo. The reason that I love it is that it is obviously clear. There's no milky, creamy, heavy conditioning agents in it. When I read the ingredients label, what I see is water is the first ingredient, then sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium laureth sulfate, along with cocamidopropylbutane. These are 3 really good surfactants, which means it's a chemical compound that is good at dissolving oil and helping it rinse down the drain. There is very little else in here. There's no oils or aloe or anything like that that my hair may be interacting with. So if you think you possibly have a sensitivity to something like aloe or flaxseed or coconut in your hair care products, like your hair just doesn't behave well when you use those ingredients, using a clarifying shampoo that is really bare bones and basic yet effective can be a great way to reset the hair and better test out if it was actually the coconut in the product that was messing with your hair, or if perhaps it was just other products, other buildup that was interacting together that wasn't playing nice. All right, guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I sure hope you found this helpful. And as always, I sure hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.